Okay, so my name's Diana, and I'm doing this little demo on how I decorate my envelopes. Normally I like to put my envelope drawing with music, and I'll try to find better pieces of music to play it with, but you know, a lot of it's hard to find that's non-royalty, that's royalty free, and that you're allowed to use legally. I'm a teacher, and so it's really important to me to be respectful of all copyright laws. So first of all, I'm going to start. These are designs that I've practiced and prepared. The ones that I do on my own, I know that are easy. They're basically easy to do if you practice. So it's not a big deal. And I've done so many different variations, but I find that these are very relaxing and fun for me to do. When I got injured as a teacher, I was injured moving furniture, and gosh, it was either stand up and work and cry because I was in so much pain, or I stayed in bed, and I would go a little nuts staying in bed, you know, to keep my legs up, because my back, it turned out, had 2 herniated discs. I had 2 injured discs, one herniated, I mean, and the other one was bulging, which basically is a herniation. And I went through everything. I went through, you know, small amounts of physical therapy, 12 hours here, 12 hours there, MRIs, doctors saying, you know, you'll be fine, your body will work it out. The other one saying, you have a bulging disc, there's nothing we can do. Things like that. It got a little frustrating. And my husband, who has been so wonderful to me, has been such a blessing, and he has been the strong one. He's made sure that I've stayed in bed when I'm in pain, that I take my medicine. The medicine is a whole nother story, because with all the new regulations now, you know, of course, no doctor intends for their patient to become addicted to painkillers. So they're very restrictive about what you can do and what you should do, and then there are higher expectations about you basically working through the pain or learning to deal with the pain instead of taking pain medication so that you'll become more normalized. And I've had to deal with that. Workman's comp has not been the most wonderful, supportive thing. I mean, their job, the insurance company, the Workman's Comp insurance company, their job is to, I guess, take care of you, but also keep the profits up for their company. And it's very obvious, because they don't approve very much. It's hard for them to get off their little tracks and their tangents. I had to fight very hard for them to admit that I had this disc bulge and indented nerve root and all of this pain, and it took a very long time for them to admit that they were responsible for that, having had it happen at work. And for the longest time, they wanted to call my disc bulge a sprain strain, and it frustrated me to no end that it still says that on my paperwork. Sprain strain is the nature of the original injury, and the person who had originally written that was a nurse who first saw me. The very first person who saw me labeled this as a sprain strain, and after 3 years of fighting, it's still on my paperwork. I've had so many doctors, so many x-rays, so many things. And then finally last year, almost exactly a year ago, I had surgery. And it was a fusion, 2 levels, L4, L5, L3, L4, L4, L5. And the fusion honestly helped. And I'll tell you why I say that, even though I'm still in pain, even though I have a whole bunch of issues. The surgery helped because I no longer have to use my cane to walk. I had to use a cane because I kept falling. My leg would give out underneath me. And one time while I was walking into work from the parking lot, and my back just crunched up with pain. My knee gave out underneath me, and the next thing I knew, I was seeing stars, literally bright explosions of light in my eyesight and my field of view. And I broke my kneecap. And so I think that was the best thing that ever happened for workman's comp, because they no longer had to pay me at the same rate, because the workman's comp was based on how much the school district paid me before my injury. Well, at the time of me breaking my kneecap, I was on part-time because of the original injury, the back injury. So I had to go down to work part-time because I could only handle 4 hours a day. So talk about a stroke of luck for workman's comp. And since then, they basically haven't paid me anything for income. And anyway, it has been by the grace of God that I have been able, that our family has been able to survive as it has. It is by the grace of God that we have so much faith and strength to carry on. It is by the love that my family shares to each other that we still have a home, and we have support, that we have such good friends that love us. And now may not be the right time to talk about it. I might talk about it in a future video, but you know, you really know who your friends are, because people that you work with, you know, you love them, you care for them, you think they love and care for you. And then when you really, really hurt, it's so easy for our lives to bog us down and get so busy that they lose track of you and don't even know what's going on. And it's easy to feel forgotten, or, you know, that maybe they don't really care about you, but you'll find out. You'll find out. There are people, God puts people around you for a reason. And these reasons are just, they become so evident. I am extremely faithful. I love God and Jesus. So I don't mean to preach or anything like that. I would like to, in the future, talk about lessons that I have been learning during this time that I have been wounded, and I say it's God keeping me still. God is teaching me how to sit still. During this time, I have had so much time to do Bible study, to look into Bible journaling, to get so much closer to God, and to have a stronger relationship with my husband. And it has been wonderful. It really has. It's good and it's bad. Financially, it's not the most wonderful thing in the whole wide world, but spiritually, I am glowing. Absolutely glowing. And I'm so glad to share that with you. Anyway, so I started doing these little artsy things while I was held up in bed. Now I'm recording these at a sitting desk because I'm training my body to sit more, to stay sitting more. It's been a year since my surgery, and we know that it's time to move on to the next step. And my husband suggested that maybe I start making these videos sharing my love and passion for these things, and I thought that was a great idea. It made me feel special that he wanted me to look into something like this, and that he thought my skills were decent enough to share online. And so when I was originally injured, I started making these traveler's notebooks and offering them on Etsy. And I enjoyed that so much, but because I could work the paper and cut the paper and do all of this stuff with my legs up on the bed, and I had a little workstation, and I was able to do everything on the bed. But something changed. We got a puppy. We got a pug puppy, and that pug puppy stayed basically on the bed with me. He had his bed up there with me. He would sleep with me. He would play with me. He would do everything with me. So my husband says it's my pug, but it's not. It's his pug. He's always wanted a pug. He's a pug person, and he loves his pug. So that pug has ruined me for all other pugs. And I tell you this because it seems like a lot of pugs share the same personality traits. And I told my husband that all I see is our pug when I look at other pugs. So his name is Jack. So I see old Jacks and young baby Jacks, and I see female Jacks and big fat Jacks and gray Jacks, black Jacks. I see all the Jacks, and they all look the same, and they all look the same to me anyway. And they all seem so cute and adorable. They love you. They're sassy. They're goofballs. So Jack is a great animal, a great dog to have around when you're having to get up and work. If you can't stay in one place, if you're not allowed to stay stagnant, you should get yourself a pug, because those things will keep you up and keep you going and laughing so hard. Our dog just makes me laugh so hard. He is a mess, and he knows it. My husband's a mess, and the two of them together are just a riot, just an absolute riot. Anyway, so right now I'm drawing a rose. All of these, I just, like I said, I kind of designed on my own. I learned a design pattern, and I said, this works for me, and I just started using it exclusively for my stuff, and so there you go. Now this one's new that I made with the little circles in the center, and I just started folding around these little petals. And now this could be considered a type of rose, and then the tighter wound ones could also be considered a rose as well. Of course those are roses, because I make sure to put the spiky petals on them. This one, I haven't designed a petal for them yet. I haven't decided if they're going to get a spiky rose petal or something else. I'm open to suggestions. So right now, We are in the midst of the coronavirus outbreak. I guess the scare right now. The toilet paper has completely run out in the area. And my family just thinks it's so odd. It's so weird to know that people just ran out and just hoarded toilet paper and soap. Of course, those are two things I make sure we're never without. So I buy large amounts of toilet paper. I buy the triple, double, quadruple rolls. I buy, once a year, I buy Bath and Body Works soap in large amounts because they sell nice scents, and I really enjoy them, and I like them, and I reuse the bottles. I put Dawn dish soap in there, like a quarter or less, and then I fill the rest with water, and we use that for hand soap as well when we run out. And these are just, you know, I guess one of my OCD things. I just have to make sure. I've been thinking about that bamboo toilet paper. Has anybody tried that? I'm really interested in trying that. Leave me a comment about that. I'd like to see. I don't know how long it'll take before anybody starts noticing these videos. I hope that somebody does and writes back. I'm kind of, you know, all by myself right now in this little cubby, decorating my envelopes, so working on promoting them, making these videos. My website, my shop is called Blessed Be Co. Blessed Be Co. All one word. And that's for blessed be the name of the Lord. He has provided and he will provide. He was the same yesterday, the same today, and he'll always be the same. Anyway, there's my video, and I think I'm done with this envelope. Thank you so much for watching. I have an Instagram account. It's not Blessed Be Co. It is He Is My Shield. So if you would like to just contact me on Instagram, please feel free. Again, He Is My Shield, all one word. And thank you so much for watching.